Hello. Welcome back to another session of Victorious Human. Yes. I should be reading the Proverbs, isn't it? I'm getting to it. So this one I call it intentional or spilled milk. What is this about? Let me get reading and we'll find out what it is about. Have you ever heard the term, "It's no use crying over spilled milk"? I'm sure you have. But if you have not, all it means is don't express regret for something that has happened and cannot be remedied. Some of you might say, whoa, Violet, I thought you said there is nothing that God cannot do. Nothing impossible with God. God can do anything. So what's with all this negativity? Well, it's not negativity. It is a bit of reality. Let's take King David, for example, and Bathsheba. You remember Uriah's wife, Bathsheba? We're going to use them as our examples. There was an event A, which led to event B, which led to event C, and that led to event D, which was equal to event E, a whole big mess. So, let me get reading and we can find out what is this I am talking about. The scripture is found in 2 Samuel 11. So I'll start from verse 1 and I'll go to 12, chapter 11, then go to chapter 12 all the way to 20. Because it is quite a good read. Like, you get the gist of the whole story to see exactly what was happening with King David. It is quite a good story, I tell you. So I'm just going through to it. 2 Samuel 11. Okay, so we'll get reading. I'm reading from the New International Version. It says, in the spring, at the time when kings go off to war. Remember, I said intentional. It says, in the time when kings go off to war. Point number 1. David sent Joab out with the king's men and the whole Israelite army. So he himself is the king. And this is the time when kings go off to war. He is not going. He sent somebody else instead. What did they do when they went off? They destroyed the Ammonites and besieged Rabbah, but David remained in Jerusalem. So, just a side note, if you are not about your father's business, if you are not doing what you are supposed to be doing, guess what? You are going to end up getting caught in things you have no business getting caught in. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil the story. I'm going to get back to reading and you'll find out exactly what I am talking about. So he's at home. What happens? One evening, David got up. He's bored now. He got up from his bed and walked around on the roof of the palace. From the roof, he saw a woman bathing. Instead of showing chivalry, turning his head and walking away, what does he do? The woman was very beautiful. So you thought, oh, The woman was very beautiful, so he kept looking. And then what does he do? And David sent someone to find out about her. Who is that girl? Who is that woman? The man said, she is Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, and the wife of Uriah the Hittite. So you would have thought, you say, that is somebody's wife. So you would say, oh, well, I'll move on. But no, let's hear what happens next. Then David sent messengers to get her. He knows this is somebody's wife, but he still sends messengers to get her. She came to him and he slept with her. An event is happening. Now she was purifying herself from her monthly uncleanness. Then she went back home. The woman conceived and sent word to David saying, I am pregnant. Another event is happening. Oh my days, what does David do? So David sent this word to Joab. Remember the man he sent off to represent him in war? He sent word to him. Send me Uriah, the Hittite. And Joab sent him to David. So this is Bathsheba's husband. Send me Uriah. Send him back home. He's trying to cover up his sin. Then Uriah came to him. David asked him, how is Joab? How are the soldiers? And how the war is going? Then David said to Uriah, go down to your house and wash your feet. So Uriah left the palace, and a gift from the king was sent after him. So he's trying to make it look like if Uriah sleeps with the wife, then the child will be Uriah's. He's trying to cover up his tricks in it. But Uriah slept at the entrance of the palace with all his master's servants, and did not go down to his house. Wow, wow, wow. Things are not working out for King David, are they? David was told Uriah did not go home. So he asked Uriah, haven't you come from a military camp? Why didn't you go home? Uriah said to David, the ark and Israel and Judah are staying in tents, and my commander Joab and my Lord's men are camped in the open country. How could I go to my house and eat and drink and make love to my wife? As surely as you live, I will do no such thing. I can't do it. I can't go and have fun when my fellow soldiers are out at war. No, no, I am so loyal to you. I'm so committed to you. I will not do it. Then David said to him, stay here one more day, and tomorrow I will send you back. So he's hatching up another idea. Let's hear. So Uriah remained in Jerusalem that day and the next. At David's invitation, he ate and drank with him. So he was trying to get him drunk. And David made him drunk. But in the evening, Uriah went out to sleep on his mat among his master's servants. He did not go home. I think God was holding him. He was not going to allow David to get away with this. In the morning, when David realizes this man is not going to do it, he wrote a letter to Joab and sent it with Uriah. How evil. In it he wrote, put Uriah out in front where the fighting is fiercest, where it's hot, where people are dying in the front line. Put him there. then withdraw from him, so he will be struck down and die. Event is happening. Event C, he is plotting murder. So while Joab had the city under siege, he put Uriah in a place where he knew the strongest defenders were. When the men of the city came out and fought against Joab, some of the men in David's army fell. Moreover, Uriah the Hittite died. Joab sent David a full account of the battle. He instructed the messenger, "When you have finished giving the king this account of the battle, the king's anger may flare up, and he may ask you, 'Why did you get so close to the city to fight? Didn't you know they would shoot arrows from the wall? Who killed Abimelech, son of Jerub-Beth-Sheth? Didn't a woman drop an upper millstone on him from the wall, so that he died in Thebes? Why did you get so close to the wall? If he asks you this, then you say to him, Moreover, your servant Uriah the Hittite is dead.'" So that will calm him down, because that will be some piece of good news for the king. The messenger set out, and when he arrived, he told David everything Joab had said to him. The messenger said to David, "The men overpowered us and came out against us in the open, but we drove them back to the entrance of the city gate. Then the archers shot arrows at your servants from the wall, and some of the king's men died. Moreover, your servant Uriah the Hittite is dead." David told the messenger, "Say this to Joab, 'Don't let this upset you. The sword devours one as well as the other. Press the attack against the city and destroy it.' Say this to encourage Joab." When Uriah's wife heard that her husband was dead, she mourned for him, and I'm sure she knew exactly why the husband had died. That's why I was saying, like later on in the Proverbs, you will find that a married woman who seeks out another man apart from her husband is only out to get you killed. But unfortunately, in this instance, she only succeeded in getting her own husband killed. At the time of mourning, after the time of mourning was over, David had her brought to his house, and she became his wife and bore him a son. But the thing David had done displeased the Lord. So guess what? God was watching, and God is always watching. There is nowhere we can go from his presence. Even if we say we have gone to hell, he still sees us there. There is no way we can go from his presence.